His Majesty's eldest daughter, Princess Sarah, who left our shores 5 years since to go to England, the greatest country in the world, has taken a high degree at Girton and is on her way home again, having achieved a complete mastery over all the elements that have raised that glorious country to its present preeminent position.
So, in a few months, Utopia may hope to be completely anglicised?
Absolutely and without a doubt.
We are very well as we are. Life without a care. What have we to gain by the great change that it is in store for us?
What have we to gain? Why, English tastes, English institutions, and, English fashions.
England has made herself what she is because, in that favoured land, everyone has to think for himself. Here we have no need to think, for our monarch anticipates all our wants, and our political opinions are decided for us by the journals to which we subscribe. Oh, think how much more brilliant this dialogue would have been if we'd been accustomed to exercise our reflective powers. They say that in England, the conversation of the very meanest is a coruscation of impromptu epigram.
Lalabalele tanana! Kalabale lalabalaka falale!
Stop, I beg!
Lalabalele molola lilila kalabalele poo!
Stop him!
My lord, I'm surprised at you. Are you not aware that His Majesty has ordered the Utopian language to be banished from his court, and all conversation henceforth carried out in the English tongue?
Yes, I'm perfectly aware of it, although... Stop. Allow me?
What's that for?
Why, I've recently been appointed public exploder to His Majesty, and as I'm constitutionally nervous, I must accustom myself by degrees to the startling nature of my duties. Thank you. Although as public exploder I am next in succession to the throne, I nevertheless do my best to fall in with the royal decree. When I'm overmastered by an indignant sense of overwhelming wrong, as I am now, I slip back into my native tongue without knowing it. I'm told in the language of that great and pure nation, strong expressions do not exist. Consequently, when I want to let off steam, I have no alternative but to say lalabalele, molola, lilila, kalabalele,
But what is your grievance?
This. That by our constitution we are governed by a despot who, though in theory absolute, is in practice nothing of the kind, being watched over day and night by two wise men whose duty it is, on his very first lapse from personal or social propriety, to denounce him to be the public exploder. And it then becomes my duty to blow up His Majesty with dynamite. Allow me. And as some compensation to my wounded feelings, I reign in his stead.
Yes. After many unhappy experiments in the direction of an ideal republic, it was found that what might best be described as despotism tempered by dynamite provides, on the whole, the most satisfactory description of ruler, an autocrat who dare not abuse his autocratic power.
That's the theory. True. But do you ever happen to see the Palace Peeper?
Never even heard of the journal.
I'm not surprised, because His Majesty's agents always buy up the whole edition. But I have an aunt in the publishing department, and she has supplied me with a copy. It teems with details of the King's abominable immoralities. If that journal's to be believed, His Majesty is one of the most Heliogabalian profligates that ever disgraced an autocratic throne. And do these wise men denounce him to me? Not a bit of it. They wink at his immoralities. Under the circumstances, I really think I am justified in saying lalabalele, molola, lilila, kalabalele, poo! I don't care, the occasion demands it.
Regimental law, the statement smacks of vanity.
We claim to rank before the wisest of humanity.
As gifts of head and heart, we're wasted on utility.
We're cast to play a part of great responsibility.
Our duty is to spy upon our king's illicities
and keep a watchful eye on all his eccentricities.
If ever a trick he tries and savors of rascality. At our decree he dies without the least formality. We fear no rude rebuff or newspaper publicity.
Our word is quite enough. The rest is electricity.
A pound of dynamite explodes in his auriculars.
It's not a pleasant sight.
I
spare you the particulars.
It's force all men confess. The king needs no admonishing.
We may say it's success. Something quite astonishing.
Our despot imbues with virtues quite delectable. He minds his P's and Q's and keeps himself respectable. Of a tyrant polite.
He's a paragon quite.
He's as modest and mild.
In his ways as a child.
And known and met with an autocrat, yes.
So delightfully bland to the least in the land.
So delightfully bland to the least in the land of man. So bland. So make way for the wise men, the prize men, the passing the work university. For the lovely island, which is higher, children of university. Phantis, you are not in your customary exuberant spirit. What's wrong?
Scaphio, I think you once told me that you have never loved.
Never. I've often marveled at the fairy influence that weaves its rosy web around the faculties of the greatest and wisest of our race. But I thank heaven I have never been subjected to it. For Phantis, there is that within me that tells me that when my time does come, the convulsion will be tremendous. For when I love, it will be with the accumulated fervor of 66 years. But I have an ideal, a semi-transparent being filled with an inorganic pink jelly. But I've never yet seen the woman who comes within measurable distance of it. They are all opaque. Opaque. Opaque.
Take that ideal firmly before you, and love not until you find her. Though but 55, I am an old campaigner in the battlefields of love. And believe me, it is better to be as you are, heart-free and happy, than as I am eternally racked with doubting agonies. Scaphio, the Princess Zara, returns from England today.
Oh, my poor boy. I see it all.
Scaphio, she's so beautiful. You smile, for you've never seen her. She sailed for England 3 months before you took office.
And tell me, is your affection requited?
I do not know. I cannot tell. Sometimes I think it is. Then come these torturing doubts. I am sure that she cannot be absolutely indifferent to me, for she could never look at me without having to go to bed with a sick headache.
Well, that is surely something. Oh, do take heart. You are young and beautiful. What more could a maiden want?
You forget she returns from a land where every youth is as a young Greek god.
Be of good cheer. Marry her, if so your fancy wills. Love will surely come.
Then you will assist me in this?
Of course, oh silly one. What have you to fear? Remember, we have but to say the word, and her father must consent. For is he not our very slave? Yes. Oh, do take heart. I cannot bear to see you sad. Let all your doubts take wing. Our influence is great. If paramount or king presume to hesitate, put on the screw and caution him that he will rule disaster grim, which must ensue to life and limb, should he pour this harmless whim.
This harmless whim.
This harmless whim.
This harmless whim.
This harmless whim. It is, you say, a harmless whim, a harmless whim.
Observe this dance which I employ when I by chance go mad with joy. What sentiment does this express? What sentiment does this express? Content and happiness.
Of course it does, of course it does. To bring content and happiness. Of course it does, of course it does. It's happiness.
Your friendly aid conferred, I need no longer pine. I but to speak the word and blow, the maid is mine. I do not choose to be denied or wish to lose a lovely bride. To refuse the king decide the royal shoes, then woe betide.
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 The royal shoes, then woe betide. Then woe betide. This step to use, I condescend. Whene'er I choose to serve a friend. What sentiment does this express? What sentiment does this express? Hey! It typifies unselfishness, of course it does, of course it does. It typifies unselfishness, of course it does, of course it does. Unselfishness.